What do we do with this information we're bombarded with every single day? And what does it do for us? Because truly, if it doesn't fuel us, if it doesn't inspire us, if it doesn't make us improve something, enhance something on a deep level, if it just makes us feel lesser than, what is this message really? Sometimes the truth hurts. It does. We can't just only be led by our emotions and say, oh, everything that doesn't feel good is wrong, I'm going to dismiss it, because then we turn into a narcissist. But we need to understand, all of us need to understand what spiritual warfare is, because the devil speaks loud and all the time, forcing us to be carnal, to be focused on materialism, to be focused on superficiality, to never be enough, to never have enough. And that's not something you can be a slave to if you want to live your best life, if you want to find your purpose and live your purpose, because at some point, right, when we're young, we don't care about our purpose yet. We want to know who we are. And that needs time. That needs time. But even then, the process of emptying, letting go of the world's messaging is really crucial, because it's never going to be enough if that's your baseline. You can always find somebody who's more successful, who has more, who looks better, stuff like that, perceived. But we have to stop putting these things on a pedestal, because it just corrupts our mind. It blocks us. It kills any creativity. And just think about it, even if you think you're not a creative person, what does creativity mean? It means you create something. So by just being alive, we're all creation. We are all creating. So I'm not talking about being an artist. I'm not talking about that, but you could think that way, that your life is art. Your life is art. You are an art form. You have to look in the mirror and see how amazing you are as a person. And I'm not being cheesy, because all of us have features even that are just like, you see the ancestry, you see so many things if you look closely. You have to see these things and make the best of it. You have to treat your body like a temple that it is, because you live one time. You live one time, and there's no reason to just throw it all away. Treat it like shit just because that's how you feel in the moment, because you're being emotional and you're being a baby and you don't want to grow up. That's also part of the messaging of the devil. It's like, we're supposed to be arrested in our development, never develop beyond a certain point. Mainly, we get into our teenagehood, into puberty, which is the time of transformation. That's where the devil gets us. All of us, because we're weak. We're still child-minded and get thrown into this in-between world of adulthood and childhood. And it's overwhelming, and we struggle with fitting in. We struggle with assimilating to other people, because we have to, because we live in society, because we're human. We're not, no matter what you want to say, we're not a species that's solitary. We're not meant to be alone, living alone. Why do you think we build society? So that means by default we care about what other people say a lot and what they think about us, because it determines how likely it is that we get loved and cared for. That's how we're born. As a baby, if we don't get attention, we die. That's how deep it is. That's how deep it is, but we have to grow up. We have to grow up and we have to let go of these things that we started to believe when we were teenagers. Because that's how our minds get corrupted. And now it's all about the way we look, the brands we wear, the people we associate with, how much money we have, what we possess. It doesn't go deeper than that for a lot of people. But these people are the most unhappy. And you can see this evidence anywhere. Not saying money is not going to help, but it can only enhance what's already there. So if you just look at how many people won the lottery and they just 2 years later have nothing and they're broke because their mind is corrupt. And money, throwing money on a pile of shit, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to do anything. You can feel more rich having less money than somebody else, but because of the way you live, because you let go of things, because you don't need it, you can feel more rich, you can keep your money, and you can actually be more rich that way. Because you're going to be also more focused on sustainable things. You're going to put your money into something that has value. So in the case of having or wanting to resell it or something even, it has value. Instead of people who are like, oh, I need all of these things right now. So they buy some cheap nonsense that loses value immediately. The first time they wear it or use it, it doesn't have any value anymore. That's just stupid. Like, we all make these mistakes, but how many times can we make mistakes and be forgiven, so to speak? We have to learn, we have to learn how to live our actual true values and not be so corrupted by the world anymore. It's not easy, but it's simple. It's simple. Most of the time, you have to let go and empty yourself. And that's a daily practice. It's a daily practice I do. I see what's weighing on my mind. I'm aware of that. I let it happen. I accept it. And that's already 80% of the work done. That's already 80%, to just see it for what it is and to accept it, to not suppress it, to not want to cope. Just let it be, just let it be, just let it breathe. There's no rush. There's no rush. Time just flies because we let it, because we're not doing anything. I do that, and the other thing I do is practice gratitude. And also, I could never film myself back then like this, because I don't see myself separate like that anymore to these people. I know everybody has anxiety. I know everybody feels self-conscious. Everybody feels ugly in a certain way and not good enough and too dumb and all of these things. Everybody feels that way, and that makes me relate to people more than I ever did, because I used to hate people. I'm grateful for being alive. And that has to be practiced every single day, because if you don't cherish what you have, you're gonna lose it. And the one thing I really want to avoid is to be one of these people who are on their deathbed and they regret their life, because you're not gonna get a second chance. Yeah, if you think this was enlightening, had some value to it, like the video, and have a good day. See you soon.